These are 3 ways that you can use food to help reduce inflammation as somebody with a chronic inflammatory condition. The first is simply to consume an anti-inflammatory whole foods diet. Based on the most evidence-based diet in the world for inflammation reduction and the Dietary Inflammatory Index, which is basically just data on which foods increase and decrease inflammatory markers in the blood, we have a long list of foods that we know are anti-inflammatory. These include lots of deeply pigmented fruits and vegetables, like guava, berries, and dark leafy greens like spinach and collards, oily fish for their omega-3 content, olive oil, lots of herbs and spices like turmeric and rosemary, various teas like green tea and ginger tea. And I know this one's controversial, but it made the list, and it's whole food organic sources of dietary phytoestrogens like tofu, tempeh, edamame, and flax seeds. The second way is by doing a temporary low histamine diet. Issues with breaking down histamine might present with symptoms like itchy eyes, itchy skin, congestion, runny nose, low-grade fever, body aches, and hives. Now, our bodies use histamine for supporting the immune system as well as for making hormones. But if you can't break it down, it will build up, and this will definitely contribute to the inflammatory load in your body. Now, a low histamine diet is very restrictive, so I would recommend, if you're going to try it, to do it short term. But it typically includes limiting citrus fruits, leftover meats and fish, smoked foods, fermented foods, aged cheeses, and avocados. And the third way you can use food to reduce inflammation is by doing a low fermentable diet. And this is something you might want to consider as a temporary strategy if you have a lot of inflammation stemming from your gut. You might know that inflammation is stemming from your gut if you're experiencing a lot of sticky, hard to wipe clean stools, constipation, diarrhea, abdominal cramping, painful and persistent bloating, heartburn, reflux, a sense of urgency, or frequent nausea. A low fermentable diet controls for fermentable foods that your gut bacteria are responsible for breaking down when they get to that point in your digestive tract. So by reducing the fermentable sugar content of the food, we take a little bit of the burden off the gut. It's not fermenting as aggressively, and so it's not as reactive. Again, this diet is restrictive, so I would only suggest doing it as a temporary strategy until you can figure out what's at the root of the problem. There is a simplified version of the most restricted version of this low fermentable diet inside my free gut guide. So if you wanted to get your hands on that, just comment gut guide below and I'll send you the link. So let me know, have you tried any of these diets to manage any symptoms? What were the results? Let me know in the comments below.